This is a short hatha yoga practice for those of you who haven't had a chance to practice for a chunk of time and really need to get moving immediately. So come into mountain pose at the top of your mat and just tune into how you feel. Root down through your feet and roll your shoulders back a few times. Exhale, roll your shoulders back, look from side to side, wiggle it out, and then bring your chin to your chest. Start to bend through your knees and just slump down. Bring the weight forward, bring attention to your feet, shift the weight forward into your head, and then bring the weight back into your heels as you slowly come back up again. Wiggling out your fingers, reaching up, lifting up, opening up. Exhale. Hands come into prayer. Knees bend. Come into a forward fold, interlace your hands, down onto the ground, fingertips, and then all the way back up again. Inhale. Keep it really loose and spontaneous, moving from side to side if you need to, or up and down to your own pace. So fold forward and then step back into plank. And I'll have you know that I'm balancing on top of a septic tank. So whatever shit you've been going through, just think, I'm on top of this. So make your plank strong. And then look forward a little bit. Bend your knees and start to lift up through your hips. Come into downward facing dog. Pedal in the spot. Adjust the distance between your hands and feet if needed. And tune back into your breath, going at your own pace. Now start to curl your upper back, bend your knees, and round your spine forward, returning into plank. And on your inhale, keep your left foot flexed as you just hover it above the ground. And then a soft bend into your elbows as you lift up through the hips and open up through that left hip, coming into three-legged dog. Now, as you lift up through the left leg, see if you can start to adjust your stance and bring that right heel down to the ground as much as you can, bending that right leg as well, so that you step forward that left leg with a little bit of momentum. Hands frame the front foot, look forward. Use your breath to sense into your right hip flexor. And we said we get moving immediately, so look forward a little bit and get ready to come into Ardha Chandrasana on your left hand side, hopping that right leg a little bit forward, walking the left hand forward, and spend some time just looking at the ground, getting your balance, a little bend in your left knee. And when you're ready, just take your time, slowly start to open up. See if you can curl your upper back, looking a little bit towards the sky. Maybe rounding out your top ankle, coming into any variation here that you need. With as much control as you can, step that right foot back and come into peaceful warrior, keeping that bend in the left knee. Open up through the left side body. And then parallel your feet, swinging your right elbow under your left elbow, coming into eagle arms, fold forward into Prasarita variation with eagle arms. Feeling that space behind the heart. Breathe into the back body. Make sure you're hinging forward, soft bend in the knees if required. Keep grounded in the feet. And then look to the back of the mat, coming into that low lunge. Taking your time just to feel into the left hip flexor. It's just how you feel. Keep the left toes tucked under. If you want more of a challenge, come onto the front of the left foot. Just spend some time setting it up so that your left hip is coming a little bit forward, your right hip going a little bit back. Nice long spine. Tune into your breath. And then take your time to get your setup right for Ardha Chandrasana as you lift that left leg up and walk your hands forward. Look down to the ground and just feel the stability in the standing right leg first. Remember to ground down through all four corners of your right foot. Lift up through the arch, bend in the knee, And slowly start to turn that left hip on top of the right hip, if you can. Keep it a bit pointed down though. Open up through the top arm. Again, rounding out through the ankles if you need to. Keep your focus in one spot, almost half closing your eyes. And then step back that left leg, getting ready for peaceful warrior. Now, as you parallel those feet, bend through the knees, swing one arm under the other, come into your eagle arms, lifting up through the elbows, and then hinge forward from the hips. You can start to straighten through the knees or you can keep them bent. For this variation, release the bind, walking your hands in between your feet, trying to get your head down to the ground, and then interlace your hands behind your back. Look to the left, then look to the right, opening up through the shoulders. Exploring the movement, doing what your body needs right now. Whether it's a bend in alternative knees or a continued shoulder opener from side to side. Feel the release and unhinge your jaw. Release your hands and hinge up from the hips, looking up, bending your knees as you turn your heels inwards. Bring your hands to your knees and sway from side to side, untangling anything that's stuck. Drop the left shoulder, look to the right. Inhale to the center. Exhale, drop the right shoulder over to the left. Keep your hips centered and make sure they don't shift over to the right. So keep them in the middle. Back to center, look to the left. Right shoulder drops. Lift up through the chest, come to center. Keep the knees open and then look to the right. Now face to the front of your mat, framing your front foot, and step back into plank, lifting up through the left leg. Lift up to the right leg. Keep that right leg lifted and then shift back into three-legged dog, opening up through that right hip, bending the right knee. Wiggling your ankles into circles. And then look forward, drop down through the knees, bring your chest, your chin to the floor, and lift up into Sphinx pose, elbows on the floor, a little bit forward of your shoulders. Keep your hips heavy, bend through one knee, wiggle your ankle, bend through the other knee, wiggle your ankle. Look up, flatten the palms on the floor. And from this position, take a moment to reconnect to your breath. Inhale. Exhale. Keep an upward lift of the chest without it being exaggerated or over effortful. Cross one hand over the other, bring your elbows wide and rest on your hands. Take a moment to breathe. Exhale, side out. Resting. Noticing. Now get ready. Slowly getting ready to slide your hands to the outside of your rib cage. You're going to start tucking your toes under, firm through your legs, and then straighten your arms, lift back into downward facing dog. Walk in the spot a little bit here, and then jump to the outside of your hands. Right knee and hand down, reach up with your left arm. Left knee, left hand down, reach up with your right arm. Come back to center, bring your hands into prayer position, lift up through the chest, straighten your legs, bring your hands down to the floor and come into a forward fold. Now we're going to get ready to come into shoulder stand from this position. Bending your knees, bum comes to the ground, roll back on your spine, wiggle your shoulders underneath, and keep your neck nice and long, your chin tucked in slightly but not constricted, and just reach up your legs as high as they'll go. Walk your hands up your back and slowly bring your right leg back behind you any amount. Alternate with the left leg, any amount back behind you. Right leg comes back. Left leg comes back any amount. It'll come to a stage where you might come all the way back into plough pose, interlace your hands, wiggle your shoulders up a little bit more, and choose to bend your knees or not in this position. Keep heavy in the arms, and then reach your legs back up again. Let the mind relax and go into meditative state. Stay with your breath. And then bend your knees and slowly lower all the way down. Walk your hands underneath your low back, bend through your elbows and lift up through your chest, coming into fish pose. Opening up through the throat for this counter pose here. Knees can be bent or legs long. Lift up through your chest a little bit more and then lower all the way down to the floor, bending through your knees. Rest the spine on the mat and just allow a loose, easy twist from side to side, and then come into your bridge pose. You're going to wiggle your shoulders underneath a little bit more and see if you can take hold of your ankles here. Keep lifting up through the hips. Imagine your hips are attached to a crane up above your head that are lifting those bones up towards the sky. Make sure the breath is easy. Maintain effort in your quads. Keep that upward lift. Squeeze your glutes. Press down through your feet a little bit more. Lower down to the mat. Draw your right knee in towards your chest. Now we're going to come to a twist over to the left hand side, so the knee goes over to the left. Maybe press into the right foot just to shift your hips up a little bit and over. Yeah. Open up through the arms. Untwist. Draw the left knee in towards the chest. Make any movement here to adjust the twist and adapt it to your body. Release. Bend through the knees. Check in with your spine and then get ready to twist a bit deeper. So like eagle legs, right leg over left, twist to the left. You can look over to the right or stay looking up. Take a breath here. Exhale, come to center. Center the spine. Left knee over right. Wrap your left ankle around your right ankle. And twist. Back to center. Now, getting ready for Shavasana. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Just making any movement necessary so that you can sink and release down to the ground. Take any amount of time to stay here. Just noticing, witnessing. And letting go. And when you're ready, slowly open up your eyes and take a moment to observe the quiet efforts. Slowly sitting up, adjusting your seat, stretching from side to side, warming up your upper body, rounding back, tilting forward. Make any spontaneous movement now so that you can remain still for a moment. Continuing that quality of noticing.